feel the fire burning hotter, climbing higher. 1,000 horses in my veins, freedom pumping through my chains. Born to blaze, born to fly through the steel and smoke we defy. Born to blaze, can't slow me down. The king of the track, the roar of the crown.
Welcome back to another Tuesday night Dirty Old Bastards Arca series. Here we are at South Boston, Sobo as they call it, South Boston, Virginia, little point, a little less than a half a mile racetrack, one of the shortest tracks you're going to find here on the series, just at 4/10 of a mile, 12-degree banking in the corners. Who is going to brave South Boston? And we've watched practice here for a little bit. A lot of drivers struggling getting up off the corners. Setup seems to be a little bit loose. As we come right there and see that looked like the 29 spun around backwards into the infield wall. Practice just wrapping up. We got about 15 seconds left to go here in the practice session. We'll get right into qualifying. Let's see if we can jump into our point standings here real quick. Randall Fox still leads the points right now at 120 after not one of his best weeks last week, but he comes home back up at the top of the point standings. Chris Roberts there in second. Jeremy Zarfoss third. Joshua Pickle, last week's winner, in fourth. Trevor Hignett, Scott Lester, Giovanni Mungin, Jesse Lynch, Matthew Eddy, Adam Buchanan. That's going to round out the top 10. It's Gary Buchanan back in 11th. Michael Tallman, Chad Cottery, Kenny Hoffman, and A-Case picked up a win a couple of weeks ago. He's down there in the 15th spot. That's your top 15 in the point standings right now as qualifying is just getting underway. Drivers going to make their way out onto the racetrack. Fourth race of the 7-week season here for the DOB, for the Dirty Old Bastards Arca series. We've had three races, three different winners. Randall Fox picked up the first win of the season at Kentucky. A-Case picked up the win at Iowa. And last week at Michigan International Speedway, it was Joshua Pickle bringing home the win. Your podium last week was Pickle, Fox, Roberts. Ken Baum Jr. was in fourth. Connor Dudick finished fifth last week at Michigan. So short 7-week season. We're on week number 4. We've got a few drivers out on the racetrack right now, going to get some laps in. We see the 20 of Jonathan Lowe, J-Lo as they call him out there, right now on the racetrack. He's got a time across the board. Let's pick up some timing and scoring here for you. So we see we're at J-Lo right now at the top at a 15.437. That's going to be Roberts taking the pole at a 15.308. Provisional pole right now for Chris Roberts. Hunter McCall right there in second. McCall now, my timing and scoring here shows a little different here. So Lowe in second, McCall in third now. So McCall's second lap's going to improve, moving back up into second, about 4/hundredths of a second off of Chris Roberts. Right now, that is your top of the timing and scoring was Roberts, Lowe, McCall. Actually, Buchanan now looks like he's going to make his way up to third. My tower on the screen is updating a little bit slower than the timing and scoring on my computer. Two drivers yet to make their way out on the racetrack. We got Kevin Bailey here in the 29. He's down there in the 13th spot. Dustin Big Money Sargent in the 77. So if you're familiar with Dirty Old Bastards, we've covered a lot of sprint car racing, a lot of dirt track racing for the DOB. This is their first pavement season, and we're getting a good car count. We've got about 26 strong here tonight. We've had as many as 30. First short track race of the season, and a good car count for this. We take a look at the 79 here of Billy Rowley, making his way out onto the racetrack right now. Billy finds himself in 10th. Well, I got different reports from different scoring. Whatever one I look at here, I get my timing and scoring showing different than what the tower is showing you guys. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that because it's just more confusing than anything else. Qualifying wrapping up. We got about 2.5 minutes left to go. We got a few drivers. Only Michael Tallman and Randall Fox who've got to make their way out onto the racetrack, or at least complete a time. We see the 33 of Fox now on the track, week 1 winner and our point leader. Randall Fox, to see where he can position himself on the timing and scoring right now. He's going to come around to get his first lap complete. Fox is going to come across the line up to 7th with a 15:44. Let's see if he can improve on that his second lap. It looks like he going kind of slow there. I thought maybe he was going to come in, but it looks like that's just the pace around the bottom of the racetrack here. Looks like Fox is going to call it right there. So he did get his 2 laps in. 15:39 was his best lap. It's going to move him up to 6th on that second lap. But it looks like everybody has their times in. We've got about a minute left to go in qualifying. And then we'll get right into our feature event. 150 laps of action here at South Boston. My name's Chris Murphy here with DRSN. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Don't forget, we got more racing action coming your way later on tonight. Actually, we've got at 11 o'clock Eastern, the Western Racing League Truck Series from Coronado Naval Base. So the first league race that we're going to be covering at San Diego. So a little different for us. We've not even really seen the racetrack yet, so that ought to be fun later on. We've talked to a few of the guys in their practice, and it seems to be a pretty rough surface there. They did a pretty good job of simulating it here on iRacing for what it was in real life as we take a look here at the 29 of Kevin Bailey on the racetrack. Also, tomorrow night, we'll be back with my good buddy Sager Basker. We'll be back tomorrow night with the American Appalachian Arca Series. Thursday night, we got a new series joining the DRSN family. It is the Victory Lane Outlaws Cars Series, a Cars Late Model Series. Lee Murphy going to be bringing you coverage on Thursday night at, I believe it's 10 o'clock Eastern. Keep your eye out for that. Friday night, we've got the Half Decent Racing League Truck Series also coming to you from Coronado Naval Base. So our second race of the week at San Diego, as it's traditionally, as we've said before here at iRacing, if it's wherever NASCAR is, you can guess there's going to be a lot of different league races at that same track. So that is all the action coming your way this week. We got about 18 seconds left to go here in qualifying. Everybody's made their way out on to the racetrack. Chris Roberts ends up with fast time by only about 0.04 of a second over J-Lo. Adam Buchanan, Scott Lester with a good time up there in 4th. Ken Baum Jr. in 5th. Fox down in 6th. Hunter McCall 7th. Jeff Sharp in 8th. A-Case there in 9th. And Jeremy Zarfoss rounded our top 10 here in qualifying. We'll get to the starting lineup here in just a moment. All right, 150 laps of action. We got cars getting up on the racetrack, so pace lap is going to be pretty short. So we're going to go right into our starting lineup here. So on the pole in the 93, ran 3rd last week at Michigan. Chris Robertson is outside the 20 of J-Lo to get back to row number 2, starting in that 3rd spot. The 44 of Adam Buchanan and the 10 on his outside of Scott Lester. Back to row number 3 in the 51, starting in the 5th spot. It's Ken Baum Jr. with Randall Fox to his outside. Row number 4, Hunter McCall in the 45, starting in the 7th with Jeff Sharp to his outside in the 76. Back to row number 5, we find week 2 winner A-Case there starting in 9th, and Jeremy Zarfoss in the 29 starting in 10th. Back to row number 6, starting in 11th spots, the 13 of William Hobart, and Joshua Pickle in the 2, last week's winner. In 13th starting spot inside of row number 7, it is Dustin Big Money Sargent and Billy Rowley to his outside starting in 14th to get back to row number 8, starting in the 15th starting spot. It's the 5 of Nick Downs and the 16 of Michael Tallman starting in 16th. Back to row number 9, starting in the 17th spot. It's the 50 of Connor Dudek. Connor had a good run last week. He's got a poor qualifying effort here tonight. He is way back in this field starting 17th. And to his outside, the SGR, number 21 of Shane Gallo. Back in the 10th row, starting in 19th. It's the 06 of Trevor Hignett. And the 90 starting in the 20th spot of Jarrett Gorini. Yeah, I'm going to say Gorini. I know I'm saying it wrong. Then 21st starting spot, the 029 of Kevin Bailey. And starting in 22nd outside of row number 11, it is the 8 of Michael Sheridan. Back to row number 12, starting in the 23rd starting spot, it is the 04 of Jesse Lynch with the 60 of Gary Buchanan to his outside starting in 24th. Get back to our final row, 13th row, starting in 25th. Our final 2 starters of the night here at South Boston for the Dirty Old Bastards. It's the 43 of Jaden Bailey. And starting in 26th, it's the 22 of Andrew May. Andrew's Showing some good pace every race he's been here this season, but he is starting dead last on the field. Let's see if he can find his way to the front. He's got 150 laps to do it. As we take a look here at the 93 Roberts. Lights are already out on the pace car. Bring around one more time around here to come across the line. Roberts, Lowe, Buchanan. Our first time here at South Boston, so we're kind of learning our camera angles here for you, so we'll try to give you the best coverage we can right now. Down the back straightaway here, nice shot looking at the field coming down to the green flag, this time by. Pace car going to make that hard left turn. Or is it? There it goes. All right, green flag going to be in the air. Roberts and Lowe bring us to the line. Green flag here at South Boston. 93 Roberts is going to clear Lowe off of 2. He's going to take the lead down into 3. We're single file for the top 3. Side by side back there with the 51 of Baum and Lester to the outside. We're 2 by 2. And around goes the 51 of Baum off the nose of Lester. That's going to bring in our first caution right at the start-finish line. Baum goes around, gets collected here. The 29 of Zarfos also collected in this. We'll take a quick look back at this here and see if we can see what happened. It looked like Baum and Lester got together. We'll keep an eye as they're heading to 3 and 4 right here. Coming off of 4. Let's see what happens here. They just get together in the same place on the racetrack. I really think Baum thought Lester was going to move up the track a little bit, give him a little more space. We can see the 5 of Downs also getting involved here. One thing here about South Boston, not a lot of heavy contact, so hopefully not a lot of damage on these cars. As we see Randall Fox already going to take advantage of this. My time in scoring showed Fox coming down pit road. Oh, it's because I'm not live. There we go, sorry. We're watching the replay. So Fox going to take advantage. He's going to need to make his way down pit road. Baum also coming down pit road as well. Zarfos also going to come down and get some repairs after getting involved in that. Fox going to make his way back out onto the racetrack after starting up in 6th. But your early leader here is the 93 Roberts. You got J-Lo in the 20 all over the back of him. All right, first caution here on lap number 1. We've got 4 laps down out of the 150. First caution, hopefully we get that out of the way right there and we get some green flag action going. Lights appear to be out, but we're going to go around one more time here. So some short track action. We haven't been to a good short track in a while. 4/10 of a mile here at Sobo. Here in South Boston, Virginia. One of the premier paved short tracks in the country. These guys, a lot of these guys are used to running on the dirt, as we said earlier, so this car's getting a little bit loose off the corner. Just might be their liking. So we're going to see Roberts here coming off of turn number 4. It's going to be up to Chris Roberts to bring us to the restart zone. J-Lo in the 20, back to his outside, right where they started on lap number 1. Roberts with a good start. He's going to take the lead into turn number 1. Low right there behind him. Our big mover of the race so far is Hobart up 4 spots. Dudek now up 6. Roberts, Lowe, Buchanan, McCall. That is your top 4. They've single filed out. It's a little side-by-side action a little further back. It looks like Billy Rowley and Pickle now. Last week's winner Pickle trying to make his way back up through the field here. He started back in 12th. He's now up to 10th. Right in front of him, you see the 76 of Sharp and Hobart running side-by-side. Roberts getting a little separation from Lowe. Top 2 single filed out. About the top 8 or 9 really single filed out. Then it's a little side-by-side action back here. It looks like with Sargent and Dudek there right in front of him. Now Sargent up on the outside of Hignett for position. He's going to come up. Who's that right there behind him? Looks like the 33 of Fox. So Fox with that early pit stop, trying to make his way back up through the field. But up front right now, it is all Chris Roberts. Sat on the poles, got a good start both on the initial start and on the restart. And he's got about 5 or 6 car lengths back to J-Lo. It's about a half a second now between first and second. into the sun, coming off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Let's see, so single filed up here in the front. So let's see if we can find some action here somewhere through the pack. Pickle in the 2 up 3 spots. And around goes the 76 of Sharp. Sharp's going to go around. Nobody else getting involved in it. That might not even bring out a caution. Oh, contact there, but see May now involved. As I looked away and looked back at the screen, May, and it looked like Downs also involved in that one, and it looked like the 43 of Bailey is going to lose the front end off the Dynaco number 43. Caution number 2. See if we can see what happened here to Sharp. Keep an eye on Sharp coming off the corner. Who's that behind him? That's the 13 of Hobart. And it looks like Sharp just loses the back of the car, spins around, hits the inside wall down on the bottom. He's staying down on the bottom of the racetrack. That's another incident happening behind him. May and the 43 of Bailey got together coming off of 4. And at the same time, Sharp decided to pull up on the racetrack. So Ken Baum Jr. also involved in his second caution flag. So the 51 taking some more damage. So a couple different incidents are right there kind of happening together. All right, under caution now for the second time here out South Boston. Let's see if anybody takes advantage, comes down pit road this time by. Looks like everybody's going to pretty much stay on the racetrack. So we're going to take a quick break. Just a quick commercial break here real quick, take advantage, get ourselves a drink. So we're going to be right back right now. It's Roberts, Lowe, Buchanan, and McCall. That is your top 4 with Scott Lester, Case, Hobart, Pickle, Rowley, and Dudek. That rounds out your top 10 here out South Boston. We'll be right back.
Now, driver, while the field gets sorted out and someone out there is still trying to find reverse, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in the middle of a race and thought, man, I really wish someone in my headset would tell me what the hell is going on? Maybe you're running out of fuel. Maybe the leader is about to lap you. Maybe you just wrecked half the field and you're pretending it wasn't your fault. Well, driver, that's where I come in. AI Chief. Your personal crew chief, race strategist, motivator, and occasionally the only voice of reason between you and the outside wall. With AI Chief you get live race strategy, fuel and pit calls, real time.
Yeah, it looks like we're going back to live action. Green flag back in the air. Roberts low. McCall now up to 3rd. Here comes Buchanan right there behind him. Case into 1. Now up 4 spots. He's looking really solid. Picked up the win a couple weeks ago at Iowa, moving his way up to the front. We're 2 by 2 behind him. There's Lester. Here comes Pickle to the outside of Case. Make a little bit of contact off of 2. Keep an eye on that battle for 5th and 6th. Right behind him, it's Dudek and Hobart. Lester sneaking in there as well. Lester back up to 7th. He's lost 3 spots after starting in 4th. Dudek back to the outside of Lester. Keep an eye on the 10. He's trying to get his way back up to the front. Qualified well. Spun around earlier. He's now making his way back up towards the front. Back up to 7th right now. Dudek going to get by him up on the outside. You can see 2 groups forming right here. And as we see a lot of times on these short tracks, if you can get on the outside of a guy, as we're seeing Dudek do right here, if you can keep that driver down the bottom pinched, you keep that guy pinched down on the bottom of the racetrack right there. It does not let him carry any momentum off the corner. And Dudek doing just that. He's doing a good job of keeping Lester pinned right down on the yellow line. Right behind him you see Hobart and the 33 of Fox. Fox trying to make the outside line work. Dudek able to clear Lester. Fox also going to go around the outside. So Lester, look, around goes the 79 of Rowley. Also the 04 going to get into this one as well of Lynch. We see a few more cars getting involved. The 51, or excuse me, the 5 of Downs lost the nose piece once again. The drivers only have 1 faster pair in this race. We can see heavy contact there on the 5. But it looks like it may have started the 76 of Sharp. But it looks like it may have started somewhere with Rowley in the 79. It doesn't look like he took a lot of damage, but we're now under caution for the 3rd time. Rowley going to make his way down pit road. Let's go back and take a look here and see what happened. Rowley down on the bottom of the racetrack. He's got the 04 of Lynch to his outside. And Lynch just hooks the right rear on Rowley. Turns him into the outside wall. The 04 and Lynch is going to spin down to the bottom of the racetrack. Caution number 3 with contact with a 79 in the 04. Let's take another quick look at that here. We can see Rowley. Let's just stop this. Let me switch this over to Lynch's view here. You see as they come off the corner, maybe a little net code issue right there. Actually, it didn't look like they really made a lot of contact between the two. But unfortunate there. We are now under caution for, or is that our 4th time here? 3rd caution. I need to learn to count. 3rd caution here on lap 27 of 150. They also have an hour-and-a-half time limit on this race. We'll see how that plays out. I'm sure we can get 150 laps in an hour and a half. Chris Roberts led since the drop of the green. Started on the pole. You see the 93 going to take the outside on this restart. Low right there on the inside. Buchanan, McCall. A little bit slower pace lap this time around. Green flag in the air once again. The 93 Roberts is going to get a great jump on the outside. He's going to get back down to the bottom of the racetrack into 1. Roberts back out in front low, back to 2nd. Pickle now up to 5th. He's got Case to his outside. Case in the 1, stuck on the outside in 6th right now. He's got Pickle down on the inside right behind him. That is Dudek and Fox. Randall Fox, after making an early pit stop, trying to make his way back up to the front. Case making that outside line work. He's got Pickle on the bottom, a little bit of contact right there off of 4, but they're going to keep it clean and green. Case might, I don't know if he knows he's got him cleared, but he's got him cleared off of 2. He's going to move down to the bottom of the racetrack, move Case back up to 5th. Come across the line here to complete lap number 31 of the 150. Down the back straightaway, here we see Roberts, Lowe, McCall, Buchanan. That's your top 4. Up front, the 93 of Chris Roberts. He's led since the drop of the green flag, and he's got about a 0.4 of a second gap back to the 2nd place 20 of J-Lo. Cross the line one more time. Some good short track action. Everybody pretty much single filed out at this point. Pickle closing on the back of the 1 of Case right there. Get back in there a little bit further back through the pack. We see the 04 of Lynch trying to make his way back up. You see the heavily damaged. I think we can show this cam right here. If we look at the nose cam here of the 5 of Downs, no front bumper on that car, but he's still making his ways around here pretty good right now. But he's down here in the 17th, right in front of him, the 21 of Gallo. Hobart and Dudek going at it. Hobart on the outside. That's going to move him up to 8. Dudek still stuck on the bottom of the racetrack. Fox right in front of that. That's Randall Fox underneath Pickle. That's for 6th. We've seen a few drivers make that outside line work, but it looks like Fox is going to get behind the bottom. Connor Dudek getting loose off the corner. He's going to give up that spot to Hobart, and here comes Lester now to the outside. Hignett in the 06 right there as well. But keep your eye on the 33 of Randall Fox. Now back up to 6, right where he started it after taking that early pit stop. Caution in the air one more time. The 8 of Sheridan around. Is that 1 and 2 right in the middle of the corner right there? So Sheridan's going to go around to bring out caution number 4. And let's see what happened to the 8. Single car by the time we got to it, but that's not usually what happened. See the 79 of Rally right there behind him. Let's see what happens. They're off the corner. They head down into 1 and 2. Oh, 77 of Sargent is already sitting there against the outside wall. And Sheridan just either doesn't see him or just didn't have time to get woed up. So let's see if we can see what happened to Sargent. Let's keep our eye here on the 77. He's underneath the 06 to Hignett. And he just gets loose down the middle of the front straightaway, turns the car hard into the outside wall. collects the 8 of Sheridan. So just a mistake by Sargent down the front straightaway. The car got loose on him, and he just overcorrected it, drove it into the outside wall. Sheridan gets involved in it, so we're under caution now for the 4th time here at South Boston. Week number 4 of the 7-week season here for the DOB. We've got South Boston. Tonight we're here at Sobo. Next week, another short track in Martinsville. Week number 6 on June 30th. We'll find ourselves at Nashville Speedway. And then we're going to finish off the 7-week season at Darlington on July 7th. Looks like Rowley's getting the lucky dog. He'll get the wave around here, get back on the lead lap in the 79. Let's take a look. I think our lap leaders is a little boring. Chris Roberts says, let them all. Biggest gainers of the race so far, just Trevor Hignett up 10, Lynch up 9, Gary Buchanan also up 9, Bailey up 8 so far. All right, we're going to double file off. Pace car going to pull in one more time. We're going to go back to green flag racing off of 4. Roberts, as he's done 2 or 3 other times already, every restart he's going to get a good jump. He's going to take the lead into 1. Lowe gets back around Buchanan. Lowe got a little bit of a slow start right there, but he's able to get back to the bottom of the 44. He's going to move back to 2nd. Here comes McCall now in the 45. He is up underneath Buchanan for 3rd. And there is Randall Fox once again right there in 5th with Case right behind him in the 1. Side by side for 3rd. The 45 and for a little bit of contact as they get into 3. Buchanan has to check up. He is going to give up that spot to McCall. McCall now up to 3rd. Fox underneath the 44 of Adam Buchanan challenging now for 5th. And we got caution once again. Caution in the air for the 5th time. It looks like it may be Nick Downs. So it looks like Nick had used his fast repair. We saw him earlier with no front bumper on the car. Used his fast repair, got the 5 put back together, but he's involved in our 5th caution. And once again, we're going to use the replay here. We're getting, should have got somebody to sponsor the replay here tonight. Anybody out there in chat want to sponsor the replay, we'll throw your name out there. Oh, contact. Downs just getting the corner. Little hard gets into the back of the 8. Sargent is going to get into the 5, so that's going to be a little bit of an accordion effect right there. Let's go back and take a look at that one more time. See if we can see it from the view of Michael Sheridan. Get a little bit wider shot here. We see Sheridan up on the outside of Baum. He just checks up on the outside. Downs just does not expect it. Gets into the back of him. 77 and Sargent getting involved once again. Andrew May is finding out why you don't want to start in the back of these things at a short track. Started dead last. He is now down a lap. He's been involved in a couple of cautions so far already. All right, caution number 5 here for the DOB at South Boston. 47. We got 47 laps down. We're on lap 48 of 150. We're almost a third of the way through the race. Chris Roberts has led them all. Let's take a look at our race recap here. 5 caution flags for 19 laps. Chris Roberts has led them all. 48 laps, he's led all 48. One of our sponsors, Collateral Damage Sports Network, brings you a lot of these fancy graphics you're seeing. If you've got SDK, if you do some broadcast, you do some streaming, you need some custom work done on your overlays, reach out to Shane at Collateral Damage Sports Network Auto Image Solutions out of Statesville, North Carolina. You need your car reconditioned and you live somewhere in the North Carolina area around Statesville, reach out to, even if you don't, even if you live in South Carolina, Virginia, whatever, you still need to drive down. These guys do some really good work. Green flag in the air one more time. It's come off of turn number 4. Once again, it is Chris Roberts. Side by side back there for 3rd and 4th. You see McCall and Buchanan. Lowe able to move up to 2nd. Fox takes a look underneath the 44, gets into the back of him a little bit, checks up, lets the 44 get away. So Fox cut in a little bit deep, just a slight tap on the back bumper of the 44, but no harm, no foul. Look at Hobart in the 13. He's trying to move up. He's up on the outside of Case. That is for 6th. He's going to move up a spot. One of A-Case will be keeping it down on the bottom of the racetrack. That's going to let the 13 get around on the outside. A little further back, we see Dudek and Hignett side by side going out at the 06, trying to move up a spot. Right behind him is the 90 of Jarrett Guarini. Good short. We can just get a long green flag run here. We're on lap 52. We're third of the way through the race. Caution in the air once again, and it looks like it might be Sheridan once again. Zarfoss around in the 29. Caution number 6. Sheridan's been involved in a couple of them here, so we're going to go back here and see if we can see what happened. It looks like Sheridan, Bailey, Downs, Andrew may have been involved in this one again as well. Let's see if we can see where this started at here. Let's zoom out. All right, so we got the 43 right there in front of Sheridan. That's the 43 of Bailey. So let's see what happens here as they come off the corner. And it looks like the 51. I mean, I can almost see air between them. They went in the corner. No, they're going to be contact from the 43. The 43 is going to get into the left rear quarter of the 51, turn him around, and then it's just a pile up from there. There's just not much room in the corners here in South Boston. You get a couple cars sideways, and there's really nowhere for anybody to go. Zarfoss piles into this one. May also get involved in it once again in the 22. That 22 car has just been a magnet. I don't think anything's really been maybe his fault at this point, but it seems like just about every caution we go to, we're seeing the 22 unfortunately involved in one way or another. Zarfoss, Gallo going to make their way down pit road. See the 29 down on pit road getting some repairs done. Michael Sheridan, Gallo, and Bailey also taking this opportunity to get some repairs done. And such a short track, you're only 4/10 of a mile. You don't have a lot of time down there on pit road if you're not going to get a lap down. Look, we see 51 of Baum still sitting on pit road. He's been down there for about a minute and a half now. So the 51 of Ken Baum Jr. may be out of this one. He's definitely out of contention at this point. All right, Roberts back up on the outside for this restart. Pace car pulls in once again. We're going to go green flag after our 6 caution here on lap 57. Roberts once again able to, we're 3 wide right there behind him. That's McCall. Buchanan up on the outside is Hobart. Can they make that work off the corner? It doesn't look like it. They're going to make it work as around goes Buchanan, around goes Hobart. Hobart, 1 of Case, just about gets involved in it. He gets checked up. They were 3 wide off the corner. I didn't think they were going to make it, and they didn't. But we got a caution now for the 7th time. Keep an eye on Hobart in the 13 here on this restart. Looks like maybe I went back too far to the other incident. Here we go. All right, so Buchanan goes down to the middle of the racetrack right here. Let's get a wider shot. So McCall's down on the bottom. Buchanan gets stuck in the middle. Here comes Hobart on the outside. Really nowhere to go. And I don't really think that McCall realized they were 3 wide. I think if he did, he'd have moved down the racetrack, gave him a little bit more space. But there was just not enough room for those 3 cars in the amount of racetrack they were trying to occupy. An unfortunate there for incident there as for some of our top runners, as Hobart's going to stay up towards the front, so is Buchanan. And let's see where McCall ends up in it. So McCall's going to end up back up in 3rd. So it looks like those 3 drivers. Let's go back and take another quick look at it. It's like they were kind of the initial incident right there. It looked like some drivers behind him really paid the worst of it. So everybody checking up here. Fox does a good job of missing it. And we look back here a little bit further back. We can see Case getting woed up. Nobody else really got Hignett and Lynch getting involved in there on the outside of the racetrack. But we look at AKC, he gets through here clear. Hignett going to get, so not a lot of damage there. We hadn't really got to really much to pace at that point. So I don't really think anybody took a lot of damage, but we are under caution now for the 7th time. And we talked with these guys before the race, and they expected to have quite a few cautions here tonight. But, you know, not really from what I'm expecting. We've seen a couple cars turn around, get loose, but for the most part, it's just been a little bumping and rubbing here as we're going back to green flag here on lap 63. Randall Fox in the 33. He's up on the outside of Lowe for second now. They make a little contact. It's going to hook the 20 of Lowe into the outside wall. Fox was up on the right rear quarter of Lowe. And I don't know if, I think maybe Lowe thought he was clear. We started to move up the racetrack. So Fox was, from that first viewpoint we had anyway, Fox was right against the outside wall. So let's see if we can see what happened, or we try to find a little bit wider angle once again. As they come off the corner right here, you can see Fox up on the outside. That's not the right angle we want, is it? There we go. Well, Fox is all the way up alongside the door. Let's see if we can get a chase cam here. And we'll just rewind that. Hell, it might be a good shot. But as they come up off the corner, Fox is already up on the right rear quarter. And he's pretty much against the fence at that point. And I don't know if Lowe just thought he was clear or what, but unfortunate contact there for the 20 and the 33 is going to turn the 20 around. He had a good run going. You can see the frustration right there as he tries to get the 20 car going back on the racetrack, but he's going to go down pit road, get some quick repairs, take the opportunity to get some tires. He's in the back of the field at this point anyway. Lucky Dog's going to be the 21 of Shane Gallo, get himself back on the lead lap. So let's see where race control. I don't see anybody being given an EOL. Let's go back here and let me see if we can see this from this view. So watch the 33 here. He's up. They come off the corner. He's getting up on that right rear quarter. He's against the fence. And I think Lowe maybe could have gave him a little more room down on the bottom of the racetrack. Fox was up there. I don't know if he thought he was clear. Unfortunate there. But I don't see race control giving anybody a penalty here. So, all right, green flag one more time after caution number 8. Green flag in the air. Chris Roberts is getting a lot of practice on his restarts tonight. Fox now down in second. McCall up on the outside. McCall's going to take second. Fox still down on the bottom. He falls to third. Here's Hobart. Hobart with a good run in the 13. He's getting his way back up to the front of the field. Started back in 11th. He's now up to 4th. Right behind him is the 10 of Scott Lester and the 1 of Case. Case on the outside of Buchanan in the 44. That is for 6th and 7th. Side-by-side action right here. 5th and 7th a little further back. We see Jesse Lynch. Right now, Jesse's been involved in a couple of cautions, but he's found his way back up to the top 10 in the 04. So nice recovery here from Jesse as he's getting himself back into the action right in front of him. You see Hignett and Dudek side by side. Single file up front. It's still Chris Roberts. He's done since the drop of the green flag. Lap number 71. I'm guessing we could probably go 150 on fuel. We'll see what happens. I don't know if you can go 150. We've had enough caution flag laps for sure. But how are the tires going to hold up? Take a look at this battle between the 50 and the 06. Dudek is going to clear Hignett. That's for 8th. Right behind them, still side-by-side, Pickle, last week's winner at Michigan, trying to move his way up through the field. He's back up to 9th. As he tries to find his way around Hignett. Hignett gets a good run on the outside, coming off a 4. He's going to take that spot back away, but Pickle fights back on the bottom. We've got a battle up front for the lead. They're going to put, it's 5 of Downs going a lap down. I thought we saw some side-by-side action up there, but it was the 5 lap car. We've got another lap car right there in front of him. That's the 8 of Sheridan. Sheridan's going to stay down on the bottom of the racetrack. Going to let the leaders go around. I think he needs to move up here a little bit. He's going to move up out of the way here off of 4. That's going to let the leaders go by on the bottom. So Sheridan getting out of the way here of the leaders. Fox takes a look to the outside of McCall for second. He's going to brush that outside wall off with 2. It's going to slow up his momentum. He's going to fall back to 3rd. Roberts, McCall, and Fox right now. That's your top 3. A little further back, we got some more racing action going on. Lynch here in the 04. They're going to come up on the back of that lap car of Downs. Not the place he wanted to be. He's going to lose a few spots. Sargent's going around. Zarfos looks to go around. Here comes the 20 of Lowe. Trying to get himself back up through the field after getting involved in that last caution. He's down there in 21st. Three wide action up here in front. The 06 of Hignett, Pickle right there. Down the bottom is Rowley. Sheridan checks up and gets out of the way. So three wide action as they're making their way through the lap traffic of Michael Sheridan. All right, you're not missing anything up front. Here is Pickle. Pickle up the 10th. He's got Rowley in the 79 right there behind him. Sargent, Zarfos, and Lowe. Lowe's moved up a few spots since we went back to green flag race, and he is now back up to 20. Oh, he's a lap down in 21st, so J-Lo lost a lap on that. But your leader is still Chris Roberts. Everybody we talked to last week thought Chris was going to be a force here tonight, and he's doing just that. He's got a good run going. Let's see who that was. A little action. A couple more lap cars. Caution in the air once again. It looks like it's going to be Guarini and the 60 of Buchanan spun around on the front sheet. Caution number 9 here at Sobo. All right, so we see what happened here. We've got Buchanan up on the outside of the racetrack, the 90 of Guarini on the bottom. And Guarini just pushes up off the corner, gets right into the left rear of the 60, turns him around. They're going to both make hard contact with that inside wall. So the 90 of Guarini just picked up a push up off of 4. He gets back into the back corner of the 60. They turn around here to bring out caution for the 9th time. I can see a few drivers down on pit road. Fox actually going to go down pit road again in the 33. Our leader is still yet to pit. This is around the Fox second pit stop. We take a look at the 33 making his way back out on the racetrack. Going to take 4 tires here. See if he can drive back up through the field. I think the lucky dog there had to be Low. Yeah, J-Lo's going to get back on the lead lap, back up into 17th. As we see the 22 of Andrew May coming off of pit road. May's been involved in a few cautions. He finds himself a couple laps down at this point. He's actually 2 laps down. So the lap leader's statistics is a little boring. 85 laps down. Chris Roberts has led them all. Started on the pole. He's led since the drop of the green flag in the 93. He's had a few challenges. McCall's been right there. Fox got back up there, gave him a little challenge. J-Lo was all over the back of him until he got involved in that caution with Fox. Now J-Lo back in 18th spot there in the 20. Green flag going to come out this time once again off of 4 here on lap 85. We're past the halfway mark. Roberts takes the lead into 1 as he's done 10 times before. Hobart tries to get around McCall for second. He has to settle in behind him. Right there behind him you see Buchanan and Case on the outside. And it looks like it might have been... I saw Sargent going around in the 77. Once again, Dustin Sargent is going to just take a quick tow to the pits. That's going to put him there for at least a minute. But caution out for the 10th time here at South Boston. Man, I sure like to get a long green flag run going here and see what these guys can do. I don't think we've had more than maybe, at the most, maybe 10 laps at some point. Let's take a look here at our race recap one more time. 10 cautions for 36 laps. Air temperature 84. Track temperature is 97, so a little hot out there. Might be causing the cars to lose a little bit of grip as the sun is going down. Maybe it'll cool down a little bit. Humidity at 40%. So your leader here, Chris Roberts, he's seen nothing but clean air except for a couple of lap cars all night long. Caution number 10. The 45 of Hunter McCall's got a good run. He started back in 7th. He's up to 2nd. He's ran up here in the top 3 for most of the last 15 or 20 laps or so. Hobart right there behind him in the 13. William Hobart started back in 11th. Now up to 3rd. And look at Scott Lester back up to 4th after getting involved in a caution earlier. The 10 car of Lester's found his way back towards the front. You see the lights are on the pace car. All right, one more time around, or at least a half lap around. We're going to go back to green flag racing. See if we can get ourselves a long green flag run. If we've got 61 laps left to go, be 60 to go when we take the green flag here. Chris Roberts, Hunter McCall, Lester, William Hobart, Ake, Adam Buchanan. That's your top 5. AK's right there in the 1. Once again, Roberts going to clear McCall down into the corner. Hobart's got to look up underneath McCall for second. Not able to get up alongside. That's going to let McCall slide down to the bottom of the racetrack. It's a battle for 4th right there. Case on the inside of Lester. Lester pushes up the racetrack through the center of the corner. That's going to open up the bottom to the 1 of Case. We saw Dudek getting a little bit loose off of 4. He's able to keep it going. Here's Fox in the 33. Already back up to 9th after pitting right there, but he's got the 50 side. But there are 3 right there. Fox going to get hooked from Pickle. Fox is going to go around. There was some contact with the 2 cars to his outside. That caused Pickle to come down the racetrack, get into the right rear corner of the 33, and we are under caution for number 11 here at South Boston. Let's see if we can find a good wide angle of this one here. That's not the shot I want. Let's find something different. There we go. Look up here. All right, so watch as they're coming off the corner. You can see Fox down on the bottom. Hignett gets into the outside wall, comes down, gets into Pickle. That turns Pickle down into Fox. So a mistake there from Hignett. We'll take a look at that again here from that same angle. And watch the 06 up on the outside. They're bunching up off the corner. Hignett gets into the wall, comes down, gets into the 2. Fox gets turned around. Everybody else behind him does a good job not getting involved in that, so that is going to be our caution here. So what happened, Fox put himself back in the middle of this field after pitting here. And unfortunate, that put him right in the middle of the hornet's nest, and around he goes. He moved back up to 9th, but he now finds himself all the way back in 16th. As we see the 06 of Hignett going to make his way down pit road. The Lucky Dog's going to go to the 43 of Bailey. We see Gary Buchanan, the 60, also making his way down pit road. It looks like he did not beat the pace car out, so he's going to lose another lap. Or is he going to get a wave run? Looks like he might. Let's see. Keep an eye on that. So Downs been in the pits now for 6 minutes. Trevor Hignett also down pit road getting some repairs. Wave round given to the 60 of Buchanan. Thanks again for being here with us on DRSN. Don't forget, we got more racing action coming your way later tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern. We've got the Western Racing League Truck Series coming to you from San Diego, from Coronado Naval Base. Our first race we're covering. Don't miss that. We're all going to learn that one together, I think, at one time. So, off of 4, green flag in the air here at South Boston. One more time for the Dirty Old Bastards. McCall does a better job of staying with Roberts here this time. Does not get too far away. Look at Case on the outside. He's going to get around Lester for 4th. Right behind him at his rally in the 79. Underneath Adam Buchanan. That's for 6th and 7th. Case now down to 4th. Lester to 5th. Buchanan getting a good run. Adam Buchanan ran up in the front of this field for a good part of the early part of this race before getting involved in a caution. He's trying to get back up there now. He's up to 7th. But he is stuck on the outside. And that 44 car just does not look comfortable up there. So he's going to get into the outside wall a bit. Dudek's going to get into the left rear quarter. And around goes Zarfos. Zarfos is kind of just minding his own business right there. He is going to get hammered by the 029. So Zarfos is running his own race, minding his own business right there. And then Buchanan gets turned around. And they just catch the 29. And he gets turned there. So Zarfos, unfortunate, had made his way up towards the end of the top 10. But he's going to get involved in this caution. Well, my replay button's getting worn out here, guys. This is caution number 12. Let's see if we can get a good angle of this one here. So watch Zarfos on the bottom. Dudek right there. And Buchanan got into the outside wall, and he tried to make their way into 1. He got the 50, gets into the left rear quarter, turns him around, and then Zarfos gets collected in this one as he goes around. We see the 16 of Tallman. Let's take a look at that one more time, a little bit different. Let's see what we can see here. All right, let's keep an eye on the 29 here. Like I said, he's just kind of minding his own business. He's down at the bottom of the racetrack. Buchanan hits the wall. Dude, and Buchanan tried to come back down the racetrack and just came down a little too far and kind of cleared himself off the nose of the 50 of Dudek. But fortunately for both of them, they kind of drove away. Jeremy Zarfos took the worst of that. As he then gets hammered by the 029. Let's see what let's see if we can see a cockpit view or a nose view of the 029 here. Let's see what he saw. So watch Bailey coming up into this. I mean, they're crashing way up there in front of him. And he's coming up into this, and then he just sees the 29 and says, you know what? I think I want to finish off the front nose of that car. So that, in the simplest of terms, in Arca racing, actually in just about any racing, iRacing terminology, we call it Arca braking. So it just didn't look like that Bailey just did not see the 29 spun around, drove her in there, and just kind of finished him off. I don't think really Zarfos was going to take a lot of damage, but we got green flag racing one more time. And once again, it is Chris Roberts, Hunter McCall now up to second, Hobart and Case. That's your top four. A little further back, you see Lester, and that looks like Rowley to his outside. Right behind him is Dudek now, and Shane Gallo in the 21 has made his way up into the top 10. Shane Gallo now up to 8. Lynch taking a look to the inside of the 21. The 10 and the 79 going to make a little contact. Lester has to check up. That lets Rowley clear him there off the corner. Now Rowley in the 79 to 5th. 45 laps left to go here at South Boston. It's been a caution fest. Let's see if we can get a long green flag run going here. Right now we've got 12 caution flags. Roberts getting an opportunity here to drive away. I think Chris Roberts definitely wants to see a long green flag run. He's got the car to beat. Started on the pole. He's led every single lap of this race. All 106 of them, 44 to go. He does not want to see any more caution flags. He is starting to put some distance between himself and the 45 of Hunter McCall. Single 5, we got a little racing action going back here a little bit further back. You can see 21 of Gallo on the bottom of the racetrack. The 2 of Pickle to his outside. Right behind him, it's Lynch and Fox. Randall Fox once again trying to make his way through the field. It's not going to show it on the stat sheet, but by far, the 33 of Fox has definitely passed the most cars on the racetrack. This is his second time trying to come, basically almost a third time, trying to come through this field from the back of it. He's now up to 10th. He's got Gallo and Pickle running side by side in front of him, and here comes J-Lo as well. J-Lo was running second early on in this race. He fell to the back after getting turned around. He gets sideways right there. So we got the 20 and the 33 trying to make their way through the field. The 21 of Gallo gets loose off the corner. That's going to collect J-Lo. Lowe gets turned up into the outside wall, so it looked like Gallo just lost it a little bit off the corner. And unfortunately for J-Lo, caught a little piece of that, and that turned him into the outside wall down the back straightaway. He is going to fall back to 16th. He's now the last car on the lead lap. He hit that wall pretty hard. Here comes the 43 coming down the racetrack. The 43 of Bailey had gotten into the outside wall. I don't see a caution yet. This has got to be a caution flag. That car stopped on the racetrack, coming up in front of the leaders. Caution in the air. Almost collected our leaders right there, but it looked like the 43 of Bailey had got into the outside wall and then just drove down the racetrack. Collected Lowe. So unfortunately for Jonathan Lowe, getting involved in a couple incidents right there as he's going to make his way down the pit road. Let's see if we can find where this happened here on our... See if we can find a good camera angle and see if we can see what happened here. All right, we see the 43 already turning around up there right in front of this, of Bailey. So watch the 43 of Bailey here. Turns into the outside wall, and instead of staying against the wall, he just drives right down the racetrack in front of traffic, collects the 20, collects the 8. Buchanan also getting turned, so we see J-Lo once again down the bottom of the racetrack, and then he turns right up onto the racetrack. Caution had not been thrown at that point. Turns right up in front of the racetrack, right in front of your leaders. So the 43 of Jaden Bailey with a mistake right there. An unfortunate, the 20 of Jonathan Lowe is going to pay for it as he's still sitting down pit road. He's going to lose a couple of laps now at this point. Action-packed racing here at South Boston. Our first time covering a race here, and this has been an action-packed one for sure. We got 13 caution flags. Let's take a look at our big movers of the race. Jesse Lynch now in the 04. Now, Jesse was involved in a couple cautions early on, but he's up 13 spots. Connor Dudek up 11. Jaden Bailey 10. Andrew May also up 10 after starting dead last in the field, and Billy Rowley up 9. Lap leaders list going to look pretty boring. Oh, Hunter McCall snuck a lap in there. I didn't see that. Hunter got the lead there. Must have been on the lap before the caution. But Chris Roberts has led 115, and McCall picked up 1 lap lead right there. So 2 different leaders in this race. Right now it's Roberts, McCall, Hobart, Case, Dudek. That's your top 5, as we're going to see the pace car make their way down pit road one more time here off of 4. We're going to go green flag in the air when we come across the start-finish line. Down into turn number 1. Once again, Roberts back down to the bottom of the racetrack. He's done this multiple times in this race already. Back to the front. Here comes Rally to the inside of Case for that 4th spot. Case stuck up on the outside. Dudek also trying to get in there. And here comes Pickle right there behind him. Roberts, McCall, we got side-by-side action here for 4th and 5th. Case able to slide, find himself a hole, gets down behind Rally, gets back to the outside. He's got Dudek sneaking up in there. Let's see if they can get the 1. Little contact right there off of 4. But we're going to stay green flag race, and they're going to Pickle to the outside. Joshua Pickle trying to find a groove on the outside. Gets a little bit loose off the corner. Here comes the 33 of Fox. Fox now back up to 8. We saw this last week from Randall Fox as well. Had to move himself back up and down throughout the field more than once, but he's now back up to 8th right now as he's trying to find his way around the 2 of Pickle. Pickle to the outside, the 33. He opens up the bottom of the racetrack to the 33 of Fox. They come off of turn number 4. Little contact right there down the front straightaway. They're going to keep it going straight. Chris Roberts still out in front. Crosses the line one more time. 29 laps left to go. 121 down. Chris has been up in the front, up in the podium multiple times already this season. He's trying to get his first win of the year. We've had 3 races, 3 different winners. Are we going to make it a 4th tonight? Right now it is Roberts, McCall, Hobart, Rally, and Case. Your top 4. If anybody in that top 4 picks up the win, it would be a new winner. Case won back at Iowa 2 weeks ago. Fox with a good run up underneath the 2 of Pickle. Pickle just cannot put up a fight. He's got to back out. Fox on new tires. Pickle gets a little bit loose off the corner. He's going to lose a couple spots. Lester's going to go around. Buchanan's going to go around. So is Hignett and Lynch. Pickle still trying to get it gathered up. He is just backing out of the throttle at this point. Moving down the racetrack. So something either wrong with the 2 as he is going to pull down pit road. That may end the day for Joshua Pickle. Back up front is still Chris Roberts. I'm going to see if I can see what happened there. If I can caution in the air one more time. And it looks like it's Randall Fox. So the 33 of Fox is going to go around Hignett with a meatball flag as we were trying to find the other replay. Let's see if we can see what happened to the 33. That's not the camera we want. So Fox down on the bottom of the racetrack. He's actually looks like he's under the yellow line at this point. Dudek to his outside. They come up off the corner. And Fox just gets into the left rear, turns himself around hard into the inside wall. The car pushed up the racetrack a little bit. Going to collect the 50. Fox is going to... Looks like he may be retired for the race as he does a quick pit stop. Let's take a look at that one more time here. Let's find a little bit different angle. We can see Fox on the bottom of the racetrack, Dudek on the outside. That's Hignett got hard. That's where Hignett got his meatball flag right there. All right. It does not look like our points leader is going to pick up his second win of the season, and he is towed in. That's going to put him down pit road for a little while. It's going to put him down lap. So we've got 12 cars left on the lead lap right now. Get back to live timing here. All right, 12 cars left on the lead lap right now. It's Roberts, McCall, Hobart, Rowley, Case. That's your top 5. Then it's Connor Dudek, Scott Lester, Adam Buchanan, Jesse Lynch. Michael Tomlin back in 10th. And the last car is on the lead lap is Shane Gallo in 11th. And Andrew May somehow has made his way back up. Andrew, early on in this race, if there was a caution flag flying, the 22 found it. But he is now on the lead lap. He's up to 12th. Looks like Bailey might have got a lap back at this point. You know, so May is the last car. All right. Double file down the back straightaway for our top 12. Looks like we've only got a few cars left on the racetrack at this point, actually. Maybe only 14 or so left on the racetrack. Off of turn number 4, Roberts, McCall. Green flag in the air once again here. 20 laps left to go. Case taking a look on the inside, trying to get around. Little contact there with Dudek. Trying to get himself back into the top 5. They're side by side off of 4. The 1 and the 50. A-Case and Connor Dudek. Rowley moves up the racetrack, open up the bottom. The 1 tried to stick a nose in there, just could not get enough momentum. So it's Roberts, McCall, Hobart, Rowley right now, and Case doing everything he can to get around Dudek. That is for 5th and 6th. Side by side, Brandon Swayson's moving back to green flag racing about 3 laps ago. The 1 and the 50. This is for 5th and 6th. Some good side-by-side racing going on right here. Case moves up the racetrack, gets into the left front. And as I was just kind of bragging about how good a side-by-side racing they had going, the 1 and the 50 get together. And I think we've seen this a couple of times now. In Case, out of frustration, drives the car into the inside wall. But as we've seen a couple of times here, it just looked like to me, I think Dudek had given him enough space in the inside. Let's see if we can find a good angle here. So watch him as they come off of turn number 2. You got Case on the inside, Dudek up on the outside in the 50. And Dudek's all the way against the fence right there. And I think Case just could have held the car a little bit lower on the racetrack, unfortunately. Dudek did move off the top just a little bit, but there was a lot of space on the bottom. So unfortunate for the 1. He had a good run. He picked up a win a couple weeks ago. He had a good run going here tonight. He towed down to the pit road. Let's see if he makes his way back on the racetrack. Dudek also going to have to take some repairs. So Case and Dudek both on pit road. It looks like Case might get back on the lead lap. He's going to beat the leader, but does not look like it. He is going to have to fall to the back. We're down to 11 cars left on the lead lap. Let's see who's out of this race. We've lost. It looks like Hignett may be out of this race. He's been sitting on pit road for a while. Fox is out. Pickle is out of this race. J-Lo in the 20 is also dropped out. Michael Sheridan, Zarfoss, Jeff Sharp, Dustin Sargent, Nick Downs, Ken Baum Jr. all out of this race. So we're down to about 16 cars, maybe 15 left on the racetrack out of the 26 that started. So it's been a race of attrition. We got 13 laps left to go. Chris Roberts has led all but 1 lap of this race. He wants to pick up his first win of the season. Roberts, McCall, Hobart, Rowley. That's our top 4. Then it's Scott Lester, Adam Buchanan. Shane Gallo now up into 8th. Jesse Lynch in the 7th spot. We're going to come off the corner here. Green flag will wave here on lap 139. Roberts once again with the lead into 1 and 2. Hobart on the bottom underneath McCall there for 2nd. He has to settle back into 3rd or single file. Who's that way up on the top of the racetrack? That is the 21 of Gallo. Lynch able to get by him for 7th. Gallo now to 8th. He's trying to make the outside work. I thought he might settle down behind the 04, but he is still up on the top of the racetrack. Going to lose a little bit of ground. Here comes the 16 of Tomlin. We haven't talked about him much all day. He's now up in the top 10 up to 9th. And here comes Andrew May in the 22, back up to 10th after starting down in 26th. Side by side here with Tomlin is Andrew May. That is for 9th and 10th. Saw the 1 of Case getting loose a little bit there to get involved in our last caution. Now a lap down. Up front, 9 laps left to go. Chris Roberts, Hunter McCall. Roberts has been the class of the field today. Like we said, he's led all but 1 lap of this race. McCall stuck in there and led 1 lap. Single file up here for about the top 10 now. 8 to go this time by. Going to be 7 to go this time by the flag stand. Roberts dominating this field, but here comes McCall closing in on the back of him here late. Neither one of these drivers have pitted. Our top 3 have not pitted in this race at all. They're going to stretch these tires all the way to the end, but McCall looks to have something late here. Let's see if we can take a quick look. We haven't even got to use some of our toys here tonight. The last 5 laps, the last 2 laps. Last 3 laps now. McCall has been the quickest car on the racetrack. He is gaining about 0.03 of a second per lap. And he is now on the back of the 93. We got 5 laps left to go. Can Chris Roberts hang on? They got the 029 up in front of him. Kevin Bailey, a lap car. McCall looks to the inside. Lap car's down there to pick him off. Roberts does a good job of using that 029 as a pick. 3 to go this time by. Roberts gets a little bit of breathing room. McCall right there with him. It's a little further back to Hobart and Rowley. Roberts now with about a 3-car length advantage, but here comes McCall back up on the back bumper. We're going to come off of turn number 4. Be 2 laps left to go. Does the 45 have anything for the 93? If he gets to the back bumper, is he going to use the chrome horn with a couple laps left to go? Let's watch the 45. He is closing in on the back of Chris Roberts here. 2 laps left to go. About a lap. Roberts a little loose in the corner, moves up the racetrack, opens up the bottom. 445 of McCall. They come across the line side by side at the white flag. They get together down the back straight. Roberts to the outside. He wants to lead back. McCall on the bottom. Off of turn number 4. They're going to be side by side. Roberts with a late race move. Up off the corner, gets into the outside wall and across the line. It's going to be Hunter McCall by about 0.02 of a second. The 45 of Hunter McCall is going to take the win after Chris Roberts led 148 laps of this race. We were looking at the in-car camera, McCall, when Roberts made a little wiggle down there. Let's see if we can go back and see what happened. Go back and watch that one more time. So we can see McCall closing in. There's a couple laps left to go. Roberts gets loose in the center of the car. The car pushes up the racetrack, opens up the bottom to McCall. McCall sticks a nose in there. They come across the line. That's at the white flag. Roberts trying to fight back here. He looks back up underneath the bottom of McCall off of 2. Now to the outside. He's got a great run into 3 and 4. Drives it in deep, coming up off the corner. And as they come across the line, it's going to be Hunter McCall by mere inches. And I thought I had a good. All right, here's a focus in on this last lap. You can see Roberts up on the outside. They come off the corner, and that's the race to the finish line right there. About a foot was all it was for Hunter McCall to bring home the win. Go back a couple more laps here and just... All right, we take a look here at the Discord to see if we can get our winner up here. Hey, Brady Zeller. Hey, good to see you up here in the chat there, buddy. All right, let's see if we can find our race winner, Hunter McCall. Let's see if he's in the Discord chat here. In the waiting room. Oh. All right, Hunter, you got Chris in the booth. Are you there? Well, that was quite a barn burner, my friend. Kind of give us your play-by-play from your point of view throughout this whole 150 laps of racing action. Well, I mean, short track racing, one thing, you get a lot of cautions out there, and I think a lot of people don't really understand. I mean, 13 cautions I think we had tonight, and one thing we talk about a lot of times when we end up with a race like this, is just how hard it is to stay focused. You just start to get a little momentum going, and then a caution comes out again. Kind of tell us a little bit about that. Well, so we got another short track next week. You said it's your first time. I thought I did. I'm old, so I forget things sometimes. But I thought I hadn't seen you here before. But we got Martinsville coming up next week. I'm assuming you're going to be here for that one as well. Well, good drive there tonight, man. You were right there. You put yourself in a position all night long, right there in the top three. If we hadn't had the cautions, was fuel mileage going to come into play, or was 150 laps good? Oh, you know what? Hang on a second. You know what? I haven't. Nobody's heard a damn word you said this whole time. Hang on a second here. Well, we don't have to restart it, but all right. So give me a mic check there. I should have done this in the first place. Go ahead.
Testing.
There we go. That's better. Thank you, Baby Bronson, for out there. So if everybody that missed what Hunter had to say, it was some of the most brilliant interviewing you've ever heard right there. And unfortunate, he has to say it all again, but no. So
I forgot what I said.
I know. Just kind of a quick replay there. I'm sorry, a technical error on my part. I usually do better than that, but just give us a quick review there again, real quick, so people out there can hear your point of things.
All right. Yes, start to finish. I think I started 7th, and definitely didn't expect to win it. Tried saving my tires the whole race, mainly, and avoid as many accidents as possible because that's a short track racing. And it was pretty tough to save tires, hold people off, and dodge lap cars and stuff like that. But somehow managed it, and got door to door with Chris in the last few corners. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, we just started talking about Martinsville next week, and like I said, I assume you're going to be here for that one.
Yep, I'll be there for Martinsville. That's going to be a fun one too.
Well, congrats on the victory tonight. Way to be patient out there. Way to miss everything. There was a lot of stuff going on around you guys, but good job tonight, man. Congratulations for your first victory here at the DOB. Anybody, but before we let you go, anybody you want to give a shout out to there on the number 45 Bugs Bunny Racing?
Do Elmer's Hunting Store. Yeah, that'd be my shout out.
All right, brother. Well, have yourself a good rest of the week, and hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to you again next Tuesday night.
Great, sounds good.
All right,
Appreciate
brother.
it.
You bet. Take care. All right. Well, let's not make that mistake here again. All right. So we got second place. I just put him in the wrong place. Hold on a second. I just moved him out of the booth. Having all kinds of technicals here. All right, Chris Roberts, are you there, buddy?
I'm here.
Well, I can already hear it in your voice. I've talked to you enough to know that that is the sound of disappointment right there, my friend. You led, let's see here. You led 148 laps of this race, but unfortunately did not lead the last one. Give us a walkthrough. Anything you could have done different there at the end?
Just if we had lap cars that were more predictable where they were going to go. I got caught looking too far ahead and goosed it a little bit trying to predict where he was going to go, and set myself up, and she got loose, and that was all she wrote. I was lucky enough to save the freaking thing. And then she stuck pretty good on the outside, but then I either didn't whoa up enough or didn't get back in the throttle at the right point. She got tight coming out of 4, and I just mashed it and prayed that if I bounced off the wall, it would be enough, and damn, it wasn't.
Hey, I mean, you did everything you could. You drove that thing in about as deep as you possibly could, like drove that thing into 3 and 4, like you were up on the cushion at Knoxville. But I was actually kind of surprised the car stuck the way it did. I thought you had a little better run off the corner, but it looked like just not enough, not able to carry the momentum to beat him to the line.
Yeah, she stuck real good. I was surprised that it didn't get loose. It stuck real good. Just like I said, middle of the corner, it didn't quite rotate the way I wanted it to. Kind of like last week at Michigan. Went in there and it didn't rotate the way I wanted it to. And I knew the only shot was to keep the foot in it and hope I would a Hail Melon would have worked, and it almost worked. But I mean, sucks to lead 148 and lose it like that. But on the bright side, I walk out of here with a good points night, and I got a 16-point lead over Randall. So
Well,
big picture, it was a great night. Tonight, it 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 sucks to come in second.
well, yeah, a few guys putting pressure behind you. J Lo was right there for a little while. Fox was making his way back up through there before they got together, and Buchanan also had a good run. We had a few good guys out there. They just fell victim to one of our many caution flags tonight, man. But you just dominated this thing out in front all night long. You know, it looked like your race. We've all been there, man. We've all lost races at the end. We've all won them in the last lap. So the next week at Martinsville, how you feeling about that?
Well, just like Hunter, I love some short track action, so I'll do some testing there. But hopefully it'll be another up front run the whole time for me. I do know after this week and after the past 2 weeks, so really the past 3 weeks, haven't been too impressed with the cautions and the racecraft, so that quick repair is disappearing for the rest of the season. I hate it because well, meant to fire this up to have some fun with it over the summer, but you know we're having way too many yellows, so we're going to take that away. So guys will have to drive with their heads a little bit more, and if they don't, we'll just have a short field come the end of it. So survive next week. Hopefully, I can get another good qualifying run and start up front, and just got what three more races. So try and nurse this 16-point lead the rest of the way.
Well, congrats on a good run tonight, buddy. I know the end, like I mean, you got a good view of it. It's the big picture. The short view didn't come out the way you wanted, but for the big picture, you're looking good for the rest of the season. So good job tonight, man. But anybody you want to give a thanks to?
Yeah, thank you. Gotta thank Scott with Auto Image Solutions for making this season possible to have it broadcasted. Thanks to you for coming on board and doing it for us. And just gotta thank everybody for showing up. I mean, we come to South Boston tonight. I knew it was either going to be good or oh boy, turned into oh boy. But car count wise, I expected about 15 to 20 of us, and we got 26. So people weren't scared of the short track. So hopefully they won't be scared of Martinsville next week, and we'll have another good show.
All right, brother. Well, thanks again for having us here tonight. We're gonna go ahead and get our third place finisher. I think this is William Hobart. His nickname's a little different,
Yep.
but let's see. All right, is this William? You got Chris up in the booth. Are you there, buddy?
I am here.
Well, a little bit of a up and down race for you tonight, but in the end, you found your way up towards the front in the 13, first podium finish of the season, man. Kind of give us your play-by-play throughout the evening. What did you see out there tonight?
Up and downs. As Chris knows, usually it's all downs, and for me, so it was fun. It was just chaos.
They come on with the first podium. Is short tracks your thing, or do you just kind of find the groove tonight, or is this normally a good type of racing for you? Do you like the short tracks here?
I enjoy whatever it is. I just hope I don't get wrecked. No, I do enjoy it. I'm more on the dirt side, but I like the short tracks.
Yeah, I think we had a lot of guys in the field coming from the dirt side, and actually putting on a show. I mean, we've had, I can see a bunch of names I recognize from the sprint car races that we cover and everything, and they're doing a good job here on the pavement. And short tracks. If you're a dirt track racer, you come to these short tracks, you're used to driving the car a little bit loose anyway.
Correct. Yeah, it's almost like a asphalt Lincoln for me.
Well, good job out there tonight, buddy. We got Martinsville next week. You put on a good show out there tonight. I'm assuming we're going to see the same thing from you next week at Martinsville.
Yeah, as long as my schedule allows it, I'll be around.
All right, brother. Well, congratulations on the podium finish tonight, and hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to you again before the season's over.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You bet, man.
Bye.
All right, that is going to round out our podium finish, our podium interviews. Let's put it that way. And then we're going to jump on out here. So don't forget, later tonight, we also, actually in about a half an hour's time, we have the Western Racing League Truck Series coming at you from San Diego. But let's take a look here at our full results. here at South Boston for the Dirty Old Bastards. The winner tonight, the 44 newcomer, 45 of Hunter McCall. Chris Roberts, heartbreaker for Chris, led 148 laps with 150, comes home in second. William Hobart in third. Billy rallies up, I guess is a good way to say it, up to fourth. Scott Lester from AIG comes home in fifth. Adam Buchanan in sixth. Jesse Lynch. Jesse just persevered out there tonight. We saw him involved in probably 3 or 4 cautions early. He comes home in 7th. Shane Gallo with his best finish of the year in the 29 and 8th. Andrew May started dead last on the field, made his way all the way up to 9th. He is the hard charger of the race as well. Michael Tomlin in 10th. Then it's Jaden Bailey and A-Case to round out our 12 cars that were left on the racetrack. Jared Garini in 13th. Gary Buchanan, Connor Dudek, Kevin Bailey, Randall Fox, Trevor Hignett, Joshua Pickle, and J-Lo. Jonathan Lowe round out our top 20. We get back to the last 6 cars on the racetrack. Michael Sheridan in the 8 had some struggles tonight. He comes home in 21st. Jeremy Zarfoss in 22nd. Jeff Sharp, 23rd. Dustin Sargent in the 24th spot. Nick Downs, 25th. And Ken Baum Jr. just did not seem he could avoid a caution flag early on in this race. Only made 52 laps of the 150. He comes home in 26th. Hunter McCall only led 2, but it was all he needed. Led the last one, and then that was it. Come home with the win here at South Boston. Congratulations again. We come back at you in about a half an hour's time in the Western. I'm going to get it right this time. The Western Racing League Truck Series. Tomorrow night we also have the American Appalachian Arca Series tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. Then Thursday night we have the Victory Lane brand new series for us here on DRSN, the Victory Lane Outlaws Cars Series late models. And they are coming from Martinsville this Thursday night. So don't miss any of that action. Lots of action coming your way. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss anything. But from all of us here at DRSN, I want to say thank you so much for spending your evening with us. My name is Chris Murphy saying keep it smooth, keep it smart. And if you can't do that, at least keep it entertaining for the folks at home. We're going to see you next time. Good night.